Hey everybody, today we have a Craftsman 32cc 17-inch blade weed whacker. Customer states the won't start right away, got a primer bulb missing. I can feel the fuel lines, they're pretty dry rotted. Also, pull rope, as you can see, not catching whatsoever. So, take her apart, see what we can find. So right away, all the teeth look good on this. All that's fine. Right here, these little arms, they're supposed to catch pretty seized up. There ain't. So that's your problem for them. So probably have to get some blaster, try to loosen them up. Some sort of penetrating oil. And we will look at the fuel lines next, see what we got there. So I got these loosened up, real simple. Little WD-40, just move them around a little bit, them freed up pretty quickly. Now, fuel lines on the other hand, not so much. They're pretty bad. Broke one of them off already here, so that ain't good. Primer ball, you don't really need that to start it, as long as you got choke, you can pull enough times. I did contact the customer. He said he didn't mind. He never used it in the first place, so that doesn't matter, but definitely need to fix these fuel lines because, like I said, they're pretty bad. A little bit of flexibility in them yet, but yeah. So, fix that, and we will see what happens next here. But I may look into the cylinder, take the muffler off, look in the cylinder, see what I can see there. Yeah, main concern is fuel lines. Okay, and put fuel lines in. Pretty simple, Take them out, you get your carburetor, you just pop them off there. For the primer bulb, just the areas that would have lines that go to it, just put a little bit there. It creates a vacuum so no fuel leaks out. Now, when you take the lines out of the gas tank, there's one of two ways to do it. The original fuel line was sort of like mushrooming to where it was tighter on where it was inside there and expanded. So you do is you pull it out just a tiny bit to where you see that squished part of the line, cut it off, and it should pop right out, which then you have your fuel filter. Put them back in. It's real simple. You take your new line there and you put it in the hole there. It took me a little bit. It's tricky every once in a while. You gotta really finagle it, and you throw your fuel filter on. Then you pull it right back in. Real simple. Push it in there real quick. Make sure it's in. Then you take your carb. Get your sear. Goes like that. So you get your throttle on. Like so. Don't worry too much about putting the carb on yet. So then you gotta reattach the shaft. Which for this design, you gotta get that rod inside that pipe there. Just like so. There. Just like that. Make sure your on and off switch is in there. Don't want an angry customer, otherwise you will lose money. Okay. So now, let's bolt that down real quick. Down here. Make sure get her on nice and tight. Make sure you get her on there nice and tight there. Don't wanna have to mess with this too much. For this particular one, I'm using a number 4 Allen wrench. Flip this around. And the previous thing there for the levers for your pull start that get clamped down onto them spikes there that I showed you earlier. Don't remember the name. I'm like that. You should check it before you bolt it down, but pretty positive. Actually, let's try that right now. Yep. Yep, it works. Throw that back on. Now, have to loosen the throttle here. Tighten that back up. Now, back over to here. Looks like I gotta push that fuel line in a little bit more, give her some more room. There. Okay. Throttle's still hooked up. Get the gasket in there. Place. Take your there. It should go on just like that. again. Same number 4 Allen wrench. And you got these choke systems right here where you got the lever that decides choke. Make sure you don't tighten it too much. Tighten it too much, then this will get too tight. And then you're going to be wondering why you can't take it on and off choke. That's good. Make sure the throttle works. Yep. It works. That's good. Now we just gotta bolt this back on here. That. Make sure to go through all your bolts that you took off, even ones you didn't take off. Make sure they're all tight. Otherwise, especially with this being an older machine, it will rattle apart. A lot of these older machines like to vibrate. That's exactly what they'll do. Right. Now, so that's completely put together. Like I said, full start works. That works now. So everything works. Don't think he needs wire. He looks good on wire. But we'll put some fuel in this. See if we can get her running or not. Okay, so didn't get it on camera, but it did run. It started up, took a few pulls, but it did run. Then I started to get a leak right here in between my line and my tank, which probably because wrong shaped line, or there's probably like a crack in there. So that's gonna have to seal, and once that seals, it shouldn't leak. Get it shipped out to the customer, and there we go. So if you watched all the way to the end, thank you very much. And if you don't mind subscribing, I'd appreciate it too. Thanks for watching.